Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I have to check my power steering fluid. Dude. God damn. Oh, she's low. Low, I'm going to have to pick up some. I don't have any. I have a hose leaking down here. It's that one. You can see it or not. That one right there. See it? See it? It's that one. It's the non-pressure line. I don't know. I might clamp that fucker. Pretty needs new lines on it. Christ, they're old. I don't think anybody ever put any on it. But anyway. Yeah. We're gonna shut the door. If I can shut it. Let's see here. My door is getting pretty bad. My skeletons. They're ready for car show season. But I know we have to do a couple things first. Hello everybody. Welcome to the Gorlet's High Performance Garage channel. Figured I would fire up the Chevelle. It's such a beautiful day outside. I'm losing my voice because I was screaming and hollering earlier when I was at work. Just making fun of some people, you know. Anyhow, I figured I'd start the Chevelle. It's been a while since it's been started. And I noticed it was power steering pump starting to whine a little bit on it. So I'm going to have to go somewhere and get some transmission fluid and put in that. I'm going to have to get a goddamn clamp and put on that hose. See if that helps it. The one side is under pressure, under a lot of pressure actually. Because I've tried to put regular hoses on them and learned a hard lesson. You know, to like split it down the fucking side like a piece of fuel hose. Yeah. You have to have pressure lines for that shit. A lot of pressure, there's a lot of weight there that needs to be moved. And it's enough to, that old Saginaw pump is just enough to split those fucking hoses like nobody's business. So, yeah. So if you're ever working on one of them, you think you're just going to connect two metal lines and put a hose in between it with clamps on it, think again. It might not blow the clamps off, but it'll split that fucking hose. Like, you know, a rock splitting your fucking skull. It'll split her pretty fast. But anyway, first part of this video I'm going to put up is me at work complaining about some, well, it'll be the second half. Sorry. I have another video I did the other day. I'm complaining about some credit card debt. And these morons at Midland Credit Management out of San Diego, California. I have a deal going on with them currently to pay my Capital One card. Because I have an outstanding balance on it. It's over the limit. And it's not a big credit card. I'd get like $700 limit on it, and it's like up to $1,800 because all this inflation hit and I can't pay it. I can't afford to make the payment. See, it's one of those things where do you want to eat or do you want to pay your credit card? Or you want to pay your electric or you want to pay your credit card? So I pay the other shit. Fuck the credit card. I pay this stuff. And I pay it because other things are more important. Like surviving and having electric and, you know, driving to work to keep things going. So that's what I do. I pay the things that are most important to me, which is electric, car insurance, gasoline, groceries, cell phones, and electricity. I pay all those, and my worthless fucking cable bill. I hate cable. I want to take the cable off and just do the apps. Well, it'd save me so much more money, but somebody else in my household doesn't agree, so fuck what I think, and it's just whatever. It's her way or the highway, and that's every fucking woman on the planet. So everything about a relationship is one-sided. But anyway, getting off topic here. But anyhow, I have a few things to say about credit card shit. Got me a shirt laying down here, laying on my truck. But I have some other fucking awesome news. And I'll go grab this. pretty fucking heavy. Oh. Get this out of here. I got to take it out and look at it anyway. So, come over here and take a gander at some sweetness. Here is my brand new posi carrier for the Chevelle. It came the other day. Comes with the bearings, which is kind of pointless because I have to buy an installation kit because I'm putting another ring gear and pinion in this thing. And so let me get out of the box here. Hold on. All right. It's all nice and oiled up. The one thing I'm going to show you with these carriers right here, this is off Evil Bay. I got it. It was about $300. Now, I know some of you are probably thinking, that thing's probably a piece of shit. It looks like it's pretty good construction to me. It's all brand new. Not sure where it's made at. It's like it's an Eaton knockoff is what it is. See the difference between this one and the Auburn that I have in the Chevelle right now? See these holes? These big holes? This means that this can be shimmed inside. It can be rebuilt at any time if you need it to be. So, with all that, it can be rebuilt if something happens. If your car quits spinning posi, you can take this out and tear it apart, check it out, put shims in here to shim it, or whatever I don't know much about a lot. I don't know a lot about the inside of it, but I know that you can put shims in there to tighten it up, to make it work like it's supposed to, and for it to give you many years of trouble-free service. And as long as you put the right oil in there that it says. Now you got to put that limited slip additive in these, and Uncle Big Block says that the best is the stuff you get at Chevy Garage. It's from General Motors. Apparently they make their own blend, and it is really good stuff. So I'm going to buy a tube of that shit and keep it on hand, and we're going to see what the hell happens. Oh, I'm going to put another ring gear and pinion in on this thing, courtesy of Uncle Big Block. I'm trading him a set. I have a set of 331s. He's going to trade me a set of 433s. So we're going to go out and we're going to have some tire breaking fucking fun. We're going to have some fucking fun here. So, yeah, good things are going to happen, hopefully, even though I'm busted ass fucking broke. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a whole hell of a lot this year as far as working on cars. Here's the other end of it. You see all that shit in there? So, yeah. This baby is going to be awesome. So, yeah, baby. But that's the first time I really had it out and looked at it. So, and it looks pretty damn good. Looks like it's of pretty high quality. Made out of some good cast iron there. It's got some numbering on it right there. Not sure what those numbers mean, but there they are. Plus we got our pin. Goes through here. Now my Auburn right now is acting like it's a non-posi carrier. I'm going to keep it just in case, you know, I run onto another Chevelle or something, or maybe I run onto another A-body car that's got a 12-bolt rear in it, and the carrier's fucked up. I can just replace it. See, it's still a good carrier. The Auburn is still good. It's just not working properly because it is worn on something in here, and it took it out of, it's not tight in here no more. and it is not spinning pausey. It's acting like a regular open rear end is what it's doing. So now all I have to get is an installation kit. I'm going to get that off of Evil Bay. I found one. I have on watch. It's got everything in it that I need. I'm actually thinking about replacing the axle bearings this time. I'm going to put axle seals in, axle bearings. It'll have brand new it'll have brand new carrier bearings and pinion bearings, inner and outer. And I'm going to do that, and we're going to see, and plus crush collar, crush sleeve, crush collar, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It don't matter. And what else? All the shims I need. I have pinion shims. I'll have carrier shims with this kit. Plus there's a brush with marking compound and Loctite. You got to Loctite all them bolts. Them motherfuckers, you got to Loctite. Now this is a 3 series carrier that I got. I will have to have a ring gear spacer for these 433s because they made a 4 series carrier for lower rears. When you ordered these cars back in the day, if you could order a 410 or 456 in these cars or trucks. The truck rear is a little bit lighter duty, which I don't understand why, but it is. The rear end, the 12 bolt in the truck is a little bit different. It's the same diameter ring gear. The carrier is not as strong, and the pinion is not as big around in the truck. But because it's got the same size ring gear, 8 7/8 or 8.8, whatever, it's pretty close. But you can't take the guts out of the car, 12 bolt, and put it in the truck. They won't fit because of the diameter of the pinion. But you can take the truck shit out of it and put it in the car because of the oversized hole for the pinion in the casting of the car rear end. Now you can take like the carrier and use out of either one. It don't matter, I don't believe. And but you have to have the right ring gear and pinion. Well, you got to have a match set because they're machined for each other. You can't go swap, and I learned a hard lesson on that shit too. I took a ring gear off of one 410 and put it in the place of another 410 that had a tooth chipped on it, and I put the pinion. I left the old pinion in there and put a new ring gear off a different set. They worked fine. I set them up. They worked great. Then after they started wearing, being, meshed together like they are, teeth meshed together, it started coming apart. It started meshing wrong. It started removing material off each other. And it started howling like it was out of adjustment. So I tore them apart, and Uncle Big Block informed me that those parts are machined for each other, and the ring gear and pinion need to be together because that's how they're made. These were Richmond gears. I had an old truck I used to have. It was a 78 GMC. It was sky blue. I put 410s in it. 410s in the back, 409s up front. It was a 10-bolt corporate GM front housing and a 12-bolt rear housing in the back. And I had a shift kit, Uncle Big Block rebuilt transmission in it. There was a turbo 350. The truck was 4-wheel drive. I had the hub kit. I'd changed it over to hubs. In the transfer case, it's got like a kit. You take the back transfer case off. You put this kit in there. It takes it out of full-time 4-wheel drive and allows you to put locking hubs up front so you can change it over. I did all this work. I mean, I really did a lot of shit to this truck. The 350 I had in there, it was an engine that my dad overhauled. It was an engine, and we had a bunch of parts laying around here we slapped together, and it had to be bored 30 over. So it was already bored, had flat tops, hyper-eutectic pistons in it. The crank was polished, just regular standard bearings. It was a 4-bolt main. I had a set of 194 heads, nothing special. They were just trued up a little bit. I didn't pour them and polish them or nothing. 194s. The cam came out of it one time, so I took the cam out of it, and I had a Torquer Plus Edelbrock camshaft and a Torquer 2 intake that I had got. I had from the old Chevy Monza that I had. I had a 75 Chevy Monza Spider when I was in high school, in between Chevelles, and I had took out this cam. Somebody put a Torquer Performer, or no, I'm sorry, it was a Torquer Plus camshaft with a Torquer 2 intake. So I removed those, and the Monza, I put a 292 camshaft in it. I think it was a crane cam, and I put a Performer RPM intake on that engine. Boy, that son of a bitch ran like fucking crazy. It was scary. It runs so fucking good. And the truck, the engine, the truck, after I did that and I put headers on it and dual exhaust with a set of Flowtech Raptor turbos. They were just little turbo mufflers. Put them on there. Ran them 2 1/4 back to the muffler, and then 2 1/2 out the back to the bumper. That fucking truck runs so good. It wasn't the fastest truck around. I had a couple Vortec engines dust me off, but out of some other Chevy trucks, those Vortec heads, they flow like the old 202s. Actually, they flow as good as the aluminum 202s. Very good heads. But I ran the holy fucking dog shit out of that fucking truck. I beat the piss clear out of that motherfucker. I even went through a transfer case in it. Beat the shit clear out of that truck. That fucking truck is so nice. You'll see a picture of it on one of my other videos that I posted on here, a recent one. It's a sky blue Chevy sitting in my driveway out here in the fog. It was a truck that me and my dad built together, and then I ended up buying it off of him back when I got out of high school. The truck, it was such a good truck. It was tough. It was dependable. I redid the body on it when I got it. I had actually bought another truck for the body. I bought a square body in 83. And I swapped body panels. I put the old wore out rusty shit on the 83, and I put all the good stuff on the 4-wheel drive, the 78. And I put a tube grill in it. Did all kinds of shit to this truck. I ran it and ran it and ran it. I had a set of 31 1050s on 15 by 10 inch wagon wheels, white wagon wheels, chrome fucking bumpers, front and back. It had a bumper off a van on the back, which I didn't like the step bumper, so I put a chrome bumper off of a van on the back of it. Fucking nice truck. I ran that thing. I ran the holy fucking hell out of that truck. It was such a good truck. And then when I got with my girlfriend at the time, I moved out of the house, came up to this fucking trailer, and then I had bills and all kinds of shit. Then my son came along, and I didn't have nothing. I couldn't fix the truck up again. It got bad. I did eventually fix it up again. I painted it all up. It was real nice. I ran it some more. I ended up taking it off the road because it just sat around here a lot. It was expensive to run. It was back when gasoline got over $2 a gallon back in the early 2000s. And my pay back then, I just couldn't afford to run it. So I said, fuck it. And I quit running it. I sold it to a friend of mine for like $500 because I really need to get rid of it. And I had an Oldsmobile Omega 4-door car back then too. I sold it to some guys for $500 also, because that car was give to me. I didn't pay anything for it, but I put a 305 and a turbo 350 in it and ran it around. It run okay. It was just, it had airplane gears in the rear end, and I didn't know much about 10 bolts, so I just left the rear in there. I think it was like 323s or something like that, or 273s. It was a really high fucking freeway gear, and that car didn't run worth a fuck. It didn't have no takeoff or nothing. I have to show you some pictures of it. It was a 4-door 78 Olds Omega. It had a 231 V6 in it when I got it. I tore that out because it wasn't running for shit. I tore it out because it was an Olds engine. It had a different bell housing on the transmission. I got one. I bought 2 J.C. Whitney transmissions. The old catalog, the old J.C. Whitney catalog. I don't know if, I think they have an online thing now. I don't think they have a catalog anymore, but it was J.C. Whitney. They had all kinds of shit in there. It was like a wish book for automotive guys. They had anything from automotive down to outdoor camping shit. There was like Harbor Freight. They had everything. So I bought these 2 transmissions. Well, I didn't buy them out of there. I bought them off a guy I knew that I worked with at the time. He had a bunch of shit laying around. He had these 2 turbo 350 transmissions. They had universal bell housings on them. You could bolt them to a Pontiac, Olds, Buick, Cadillac, or a Chevy. You could bolt it to any of them. So those are the transmissions I got. I gave one to my dad, because I paid $100 for these transmissions. I paid $100 for both of them. And they were brand new. They were remanufactured, brand new. We tore them both, the valve bodies out of them, put shift kits in them. And I run the one in the Oldsmobile. And it run okay. I mean, it took you forever to get to $5,000 with the son of a bitch. You could bump it up out of low 1 to 2 and just hear the tires bark on it. I love doing that shit. I set an Outlaw 2 aluminum wheels on that car with a set of Winston Winter white leather tires. And I put a set of Chevelle coil springs in the front because the tires rubbed the fenders. So I put a set of big block Chevelle coils up front. And I put a set of leaf spring shackle extensions on the back. Things sat up like a goddamn 2-wheel drive pickup. And I put a set of bucket seats out of a Bronco 2 in it. And I had a nice steering wheel, a Grant steering wheel in there. I took the stock factory steering wheel out. Left it a column shift. I really liked that car. It was kind of like a Nova. It's kind of like a Chevy Nova. It's identical to one, just it was an Oldsmobile. It had a big dent in the quarter. I pushed it out, but the metal was so stretched you couldn't really get the dent to stay out. You could lean against it and pop it in there. It'd be a dent again. But I was painting it right in here in the garage. I bought some farm implement paint from the good old Surplus City. Cheap-ass paint. And then I could have turned it into acrylic enamel, but I didn't know it at the time. So I kept it to synthetic enamel. Synthetic enamel sucks. It's not durable. You paint tractors with it, but you don't care if it stays on or not. It takes fucking months to dry. I put 3 coats of red oxide, a synthetic primer on that car. It took a whole fucking evening to dry. I didn't get to put the color on it till the next day, which was Massey Ferguson red. I painted that fucking car, put 3 thick fucking coats of Massey Ferguson red on that car. That car was in immaculate shape. There was no rust on that car anywhere. I painted it. That fucking paint would not dry. I sat it out in the driveway in the sun. It would tack up. It tacked up, but you could put your fingernail in it and make a mark. You could mark it. It's like, oh my God, this isn't going to harden. It's not going to harden. And I was going to clear coat it, but I was afraid the solvents would work together in there and it would all fall off. So I held off on the clear coat. That paint was fully hardened 2 months later. So if you're going to paint synthetic paint, get that shit that's made with soybean oil or whatever the fuck's in it. Get yourself some acrylic enamel reducer and replace it with a synthetic enamel reducer. It will turn that paint into acrylic enamel, and it will get rock hard after you paint it. And get some hardener. Sock the hardener to that shit. The more hardener you put in it, the shinier it gets. But then the more susceptible to chips it is. That's old paint. So anyway, you can clear coat that shit too. They make clear coat that'll go over anything. But anyhow, I sold those two vehicles, the truck and the Oldsmobile. I sold them for the Chevelle. My Chevelle was sitting in here, no paint on it. I had it tagged up. I was driving it. I had it up for collateral on a loan I had because the bank manager at First People's Credit Union, he knew what I had, and he knew it was worth some money. Because at the time they were going crazy. They still are. But they were just getting onto the 70 Chevelle. Everybody was just had to have one. So I thought, if I can get the money together, buy some paint for this son of a bitch and clear coat, and then we'll put some stripes on it. So that's what I did. I got that money. I bought the paint. I bought the paint at Carlisle. It is acrylic lacquer is what the paint is. It came with all stages, all three stages. It came with primer. It came with activator. It came with the paint. It came with the clear coat. And it came with activators for all that shit and reducers. What you did is you poured it in a bucket. You poured your reducer in, your activator. You stirred it all the fuck up. You sprayed it on the car. And between every coat, you had to wait 15 minutes between every coat. They only required 2 coats of paint on the car itself. It required 2 coats of primer, which I put 3 on. After it dried, of course, it was 70 degrees that day, and it was really nice out. I had thrown primer, 3 coats of primer on this. I took my wife down to her hair and nail appointment, came back to the house, sprayed the color on, sprayed 2 coats of orange on it, and then she called, "Oh, I'm done." And I looked all around the car, and there was a bunch of spots I missed because I didn't have very good lighting in here back then. I went around it with a big fluorescent light looking at it, and I had missed a whole bunch of fucking spots. So I mixed up more, or I poured more in the gun and went along it and sprayed it, the rest of the paint on it. So it's got 3 coats of primer, 3 coats of base on it. And it had like a dull, like a semi-gloss to it. And I left in here and went down. And I came back. Then I sprayed the clear to it. I slapped the clear to this motherfucker. I put 6 coats of clear on this car. And the sun shining through the goddamn window over there made it dry fast on the quarter panel. So I had a lot of orange peel on that quarter panel. It had orange peel just about everywhere, but I had so much clear on it, I buffed it right out. But anyhow, to go back to the Oldsmobile, when I was painting that thing in here in the garage, I had 8 squirrels living in here. They came in, just let themselves in, and they would come in here every night like clockwork and wreak havoc in here. They'd be chewing on stuff, throwing shit around. Little insubordinate motherfuckers they was. So I hid in the one pickup my dad had in here. I hid in it with a CO2 pistol, and I was shooting his little bastards as they was coming in. Apparently I didn't kill them all. I only killed 6 of them. There was 2 left. The one came running across the I-beam because I didn't have no ceiling in here back then. While the car was drying, the little son of a bitch came running across. I guess he lost his footing or whatever from the paint fumes. Drug his little fucking nails down the quarter panel of that fucking fresh paint this is on the Oldsmobile when I was painting it in here. And that little son of a bitch, there was hair stuck to it and everything. And I was like, well, I tweezed a lot of the hair out of it. I couldn't get I didn't worry about the scratches. I was so excited about how good that paint job turned out. I went and got my dad so he could come up and see it. And he's like, wow, that's amazing for synthetic fucking paint. So it was pretty, it was actually a really good paint job on that Olds. But it would dry. After it did dry, it started fading really bad in the sun. It looked like it was fucking pink or like a fuchsia or some shit. And I would have to buff it out all the time. I buffed the hell out of that paint because I had them 3 coats on it. It didn't even call for 3 coats, but I buffed that thing. Every time I'd buff it, it'd get shinier and smoother. It looked really good. It would turn heads. I set of turbo mufflers with turn downs on it, 3-inch tailpipes. It would actually turn heads. It had a little rough idle to it. 305 I built and put in it. Yeah, it was a decent car. I wish I'd have kept it instead of getting rid of it, but then I wouldn't have been able to paint this Chevelle. So you gotta have to cut your losses when there's something more important, that you have on your hands. The Chevelle to me was priority, and it's a better looking car anyway, I think. But anyhow, yeah. So I'm hearing all kinds of things from coming from I think a lot of it's bullshit, saying that how the Civil War's starting in Texas. It's not starting in Texas. I haven't watched the news yet today, but I have a feeling that some crazy ass bullshit's about to go down, because I know there was some pipelines lit on fire down there in Texas-Oklahoma border, or some natural gas propane pipeline fires, which were put out quickly, but still, the point of it is there's crazy ass immigrants running around, well, terrorists probably, trying to start shit. So I guess we'll see what happens with that. But I mainly wanted to show you all the rear, the carrier, and I just need the install kit, axle bearings and seals, pinion seal, that'll come in that kit, the pinion seal will. So we're going to get on that, and I'll get that ordered, get it here, and I'll be set up. I'll be ready to go for as soon as spring hits and they get the roads cleared off. I'm going to take that fucker up there one weekend when I'm off all weekend, and we're going to set this rear end up, and we're going to be fucking spinning palsy and barking fucking tires once again. It's all starting to come together. Now, I may not be able to do a lot of shit, but that's on my priority list for now. But the truck outside, the 84 C10, I'm going to, of course you can see where they knocked the grill out, but anyway, I have a lot of parts for that truck already here. I have brakes. I don't think I have brake pads. I might have brake pads. I'm not sure. I have a brake line kit. I have brakes. I have suspension components for the front. I have all that stuff. I'm not going to have to spend much money, but I need to make sure all my lights are working. I'm having trouble with that. I think it's a ground. I'm going to put more grounds on the taillights. And if I can't figure that out, I'll get the harness off this parts truck up here and put it on there. But I'm going to get me a grill too. I have a grill in here, but I had trouble trying to get it to fit. I don't think it'll fit. I might try it. I don't know. If not, I'm going to get me a tube grill that stretches across the headlights, like covers them. We'll do that if this other grill doesn't work. If I can't get it to work, that's what we'll do. But anyhow, everybody, have an excellent weekend. What's left of it, because I had to work it this morning anyway. And y'all can like, share, comment, subscribe. I don't know if you watch this bullshit or not, but I'm going to call it another Chevelle cold start, because that's pretty much what it was. And you'll see me in the rock truck after this. Voice is leaving me. So everybody, have a good one. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Damn it. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Happy fucking Friday, everybody. It's February 2nd. It's fucking Groundhog Day. Just want to do a short little video. Now everybody's going to talk on the fucking radio, so I can't talk. Jesus Christ. Anyway, y'all going to shut the fuck up now? Never fails. Never fucking fails. Anyway, everybody, I'm going to do a short video and talk to you about, I don't know how many of you out there, probably a lot of you, have credit card debt right now. Because I'm officially... Oh my God. I'm officially fucking poor. I am part of the poor fucking class. I have exited the middle class because our government has shoved me out of the middle class range, which they have done with a lot of other motherfuckers. And now, I mean, I make $56,000 a year doing this job. Most money I've ever made in my entire life working. I haven't made any more money than this ever in my life. So, with that being said, in order to be classified as middle class now, you have to make $156,000 a year. To be comfortable middle class, to afford a home, and, you know, to be able to pay on a mortgage, to have a new car, to have, you know, cell phone, cable, electric, car insurance. You know, you got to be making that kind of money to afford those things and still be comfortable and be able to put money away. I have an account with Edward Jones for retirement, which now my employer has stopped contributing, and now none of my money comes out of my check and goes in there now. So I have to let that roll around in there for 2 fucking years before I can put it anywhere else. I'm going to lose 2 years on my fucking retirement plans, which that's fucking great. That's excellent. Oh my God, how awesome. How fucking great is that? The reason I say anything about the credit card debt, because I have Capital One card, and I cannot pay it because I don't make enough money to go around anymore. So, anyway, I guess the loader's going to have a little bit of maintenance done here real quick. So, anyway, blah, 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 blah. Shut the fuck up. Fucking radio. I'm telling you, as soon as I go to make a fucking video, the goddamn radio, the fucking CD has to start. But anyway, folks, the reason I'm saying anything about the credit card debt is because, yeah, you're going to go fuck yourself too, Sunday work. Yeah, you have some fun with that, because I won't be here. Anyhow. They won't shut the fuck up for 10 seconds on that fucking radio. But anyway, any fucking way, somebody said to go down to the fucking that piece of shit 120. Anyway, the reason I'm saying anything about the credit, if I can stop being interrupted for 10 fucking seconds, I got a place called Midland Credit Management Company got a hold of me to start making payments on this credit card. And they said they was going to work with me. Whatever I can afford a month is what they're going to pay on it for me. 0 interest. So the interest is gone. Don't have to worry about tax. When you're paying a credit card, now that interest rates are just fucking out of control because the Fed keeps running interest rates up to combat inflation, which that worked in the past, but it does not work anymore. That is not the way of the fucking beast today. So, we can't do it that way no more. It doesn't fucking work, obviously. Because the Biden administration doesn't want it to work. This is all their fault. This is all their fucking fault. This is bullshit. This is a big crock of fucking shit. They have ran us all in the fucking poorhouse. So, apparently, Credit Management Company, or Midland Credit Management Company, apparently they're scammers because I've been paying them for the last 3 months, and Capital One has not received one fucking dime from these assholes. So I'm going to call them today and I'm going to end it. I'm going to end the payment plan, and I'm going to tell them to go fuck themselves, and then I'll never be dealing with them again. And I looked on their website and says, oh, they're so legitimate, they're this, they're that. They're a bunch of Indian cocksuckers calling me and wanting fucking money, just like the assholes that came to that called me and said I had this Apple account that was compromised. And they just wanted my account information so they could drain my account. It was a scam. Anybody with an Indian fuck on the other end of the fucking line talking to you is a scam. Remember that, everybody. Anybody that calls you from India, has an Indian accent, says that his name's Joe or Chuck, no, that's a lie. His name is Mahakalapalib, or whatever the fuck their names are over there. They're hanging out at a goddamn fucking 7-Eleven, fucking you over, is what they're doing. And their little organization over there, they fucking run around the fucking world, calling all over the place, scamming everybody out of money. So yeah, they have me quite fucking pissed. Because I mean, I told them, I said, I'll pay you $50 a month. I said, that's all I can do. And they're like, well, how about 53? Okay, whatever. I set it up with them. I gave them my account number so they could just draw it out of there at the end of the month, every month. Of course, now they pull it out when I hardly have any money in there. So now every time I turn around, my account's overdrawn. And that's fucking awesome because I can afford that right now. Yeah. So everything that I planned for this summer probably isn't going to happen. I probably won't even be making any goddamn videos this fucking summer because the government has beat me down to the point where I can barely afford to live. I saw my grocery bill go from $150 a week to over $350 a week. And it's climbing. Every time I turn around, there's some motherfucker kicking me back down in the hole. I can't get ahead to save my ass. And they wonder, why is that guy a mad bastard? I wonder fucking why. I wonder why I'm fucking pissed. Jesus fucking Christ. The American dream. I've done been fucked out of that American dream since I got out on my fucking own when I was 20 years old. Jesus Christ. I've been fucked over so many goddamn times about the fucking government. It's fucking crazy. I'm telling you, we need to take this fucking shit back. We need to take our government back and start the fuck over. It's fucking craziness. But anyhow, might as well turn that the fuck off. It's fucking craziness. But anyway, everybody, you know what to do here come election time. We have to get these fucking tyrants out of our government. We gotta get them out of there. If not, we're doomed. We are fucking doomed. You know, the World Economic Forum, this new world order assholes, these rich elites of the fucking world, they're scared. They know Donald Trump's going to get in there, and they're going to go into hiding. We need to find out where they're hiding and bury them alive is what we need to do. And we need to take over their bank accounts and distribute the wealth throughout everywhere. Because this is retarded. This is getting way out of hand. I never ever thought I would live long enough to see our government turn into a tyrannical government and try to take everything we got, enslave all of us, and take all of our rights away. I never ever thought I would ever see that. It's complete fucking insanity. And I'm so fucking done with it. And all these fucking celebrities out there are just right on the bandwagon with it. They're all supporting it. And they're all taking steps to take homes away from people. Like Dwayne Johnson in Maui. That's his fucking home state. That's Hawaii. That motherfucker's trying to keep people in Maui from their fucking property. They haven't done a fucking thing with that place down there. They're waiting for these people to die off from cancer, apparently. Because they said apparently there's something in the air down there, or in the water supply, that is giving residents cancer now. So yeah, they're doing this because they burned them out, and now trying to take their property, and they can't get it. So now they're going to start poisoning their water supply to kill them all off. So they can take so Oprah and Bill Gates and all of them can take Maui private. That's what they're doing with that. And if you don't fucking believe it, just look it up. You'll see it. Don't use Google because they won't tell you nothing. They tell you lies because they're a liberal organization. They're run by the Democrats. So they're not going to tell you any truths on there other than what year did Abraham Lincoln die. Obvious facts they'll tell you. But when it comes to truths today, they're not going to tell you nothing. They're going to tell you a goddamn thing. They're going to keep you in the fucking dark and lie to you. It's pretty bad whenever you can get more information out of your Alexa at home. That bitch will tell you everything. She says that this is going to be the last election ever that we're going to have here this year. That is if Joe Biden gets back in. If he gets back in the seat, we're fucked. I mean, literally fucked. I'm not fucking kidding you. We are so fucking doomed and screwed if that son of a bitch gets back in office again. We're all fucked. You might as well fucking pack your bags and move to Mexico, because that's the only place you're going to have any kind of freedom. So, anyway, I'm so frustrated with all this bullshit. I'm so fucking tired of being fucking poor. I've been poor all my fucking life, and in the last 13 years, I scratched and climbed out of the fucking hole of bullshit. Now I'm kicked right back down in it. Ever since that asshole took office, I've been fucked. It hasn't hit me as hard as what it's hitting me right now. I can't afford anything. I can barely afford my groceries. I can hardly put fucking clothes on my daughter's ass. I can't hardly do anything. I sit at home constantly because I can't afford to go anywhere. I save up all my money to put gas in my car so I can come to work every week. I'm just glad I live like 15 minutes away from my job. Because if I lived any further, I'd be fucked. If I was still working in Morgantown, West Virginia, I'd literally be fucked right now. Because you can't make it. You can't make it on $20 an hour. You can't. You have to make like $35 and $40 an hour today, or $50 an hour, in order to make it. To have some money left over to be able to buy things that you enjoy and be able to do things that you want to do. So it's total fucking craziness. But anyhow, the loader's coming back. I gotta get back to work. Everybody, I can't urge y'all enough to vote Donald Trump for president in November. We got to rise up and stop this. Because there ain't going to be nothing left for our kids. Got to stand up and do this. If I have to get a rifle and fight, I will. So everybody have a good one. I'll see you on the next one. Like, share, comment, subscribe. If there is a next time.